This is the end of Marcus Manilius's Astronomica, written around um, the time of Christ, and that's all about astrology. So here's Book 5, line 619. The man whose birth coincides with the rising of Andromeda from the sea will prove merciless, a dispenser of punishment, a warder of dungeon dire. He will stand arrogantly by while the mothers of wretched prisoners lie prostrate on his threshold, and the fathers wait all night to catch the last kisses of their sons, and receive into their innermost being the dying breath. From the same constellation comes the figure of the executioner, ready to take money for a speedy death and the rites of a funeral pyre. For him, execution means profit, and oft he will bear his axe. In short, he is a man who could have looked unmoved on Andromeda herself, fettered to the rock. Governor of the imprisoned, he occasionally becomes a fellow conflict, chained to criminals so as to save them for execution. When the 21st degree of the rising fishes illuminates Earth's threshold and shines upon the world, the winged horse will appear and gallop aloft in the heavens. In that hour it will bring forth people endowed with swiftness of movement, and limbs alert to perform every task. One man will cause his horse to wheel round in caracoles, and proudly mounted on its back, he will wage war from on high, horseman and soldier in one. Another will possess the ability to rob the racecourse of its true length. Such is his speed that he will seem to dissemble the movement of his feet and make the ground vanish before him. Who more swiftly could fly back from the ends of the earth as messenger, or with light foot to the earth's ends make his way? He will also heal a horse's wounds with the sap of common plants, and will know the herbs which bring aid to an animal's limbs, and those which grow for the use of man. The figure on bended knee, and called by the Greek name of Engonassin, about whose origin no certainty prevails, brings forth its stars on the right simultaneously with the last portion of the fishes. Of this constellation is begotten the desertion, craftiness, and deceit characteristic of its children, and from it comes the thug who terrorizes the heart of the city. If perchance his mind is moved to consider a profession, Ergonassin will inspire him with enthusiasm for the risky callings, with danger the price for which he will sell his talents. Daring narrow steps on a path without thickness, he will plant firm feet on a horizontal tightrope. Then, as he attempts an upward route to heaven, he will all but lose his footing, and, suspended in mid-air, he will keep a multitude in suspense upon himself. On the left, as the last portion of the fishes rises, appears the constellation of the Whale, pursuing Andromeda in heaven as on the sea. This monster enlists its sons in an onslaught on the deep and butchery of scaly creatures. Theirs will be a passion for ensnaring the deep with nets spread wide, and for straightening the sea with bonds. They will confine in spacious prisons seals which deem themselves as safe as in the open sea, and shackle them fast in fetters. The unwary tunny they will draw along in a network of meshes. And their capture is not the end. The fish struggle against their bonds, meet a new assault, and suffer death by the knife, and the sea is dyed, mixed with blood of its own. Furthermore, when the victims lie dead along the shore, a second slaughter is perpetrated on the first. The fish are torn into pieces, and a single body is divided to serve separate ends. One part is better if its juices are given up, another if they are retained. In the one case, a valuable fluid is discharged, which yields the choicest parts of the blood. Flavored with salt, it imparts a relish to the palate. In the other case, all the pieces of the decaying carcass are blended together and merge their shapes until every distinguishing feature has been lost. They provide food with a condiment of general use. Or when, presenting the very likeness of the dark-hued sea, A shoal of the scaly creatures has come to a stop and cannot move for their numbers. They are surrounded and drawn from the water by a huge dragnet, and fill large tanks and wine vats. Their common endowment of liquid is exuded upon each other, for their inward parts melt and issue forth a stream of decomposition. Moreover, such men will be able to fill great salt pans, to evaporate the sea, and to extract the sea's venom. They prepare a wide expanse of hardened ground, and surround it with firm walls. Next conduct therein waters channeled from the nearby sea, and then deny them exit by closing sluice gates. So the floor holds in the waves and begins to glisten, as the water is drained off by the sun. When the sea's dry element has collected, ocean's white locks are shorn for use at table, and huge mounds are made of the solid foam. And the poison of the deep, which prevents the use of sea-water, vitiating it with a bitter taste, they commute to life-giving salt and render a source of health. Now when, after completing a revolution round the pole, the bear with muzzle foremost replaces her unceasing steps in her former tracks, never immersed in ocean, but ever turning in a circle, to those born at such a time wild creatures will show no hostile face, and in their dealings with animals these men will find them submissive to their rule. Such a one will be able to control huge lions with a gesture, to fondle wolves, and to play with captive panthers, so far from shunning the powerful bears that are the sin of the constellation. He will train them to human accomplishments and feats foreign to their nature. He will seat himself on the elephant's back, and with a goad will direct the movements of a beast, which disgraces its massive weight by yielding to tiny jabs. He will dispel the fury of the tiger, training it to become a peaceful animal, whilst all the other beasts which molest the earth with their scavagences he will join in friendship to himself. Keen-scented whelps he will train. Such are the special powers and times of influence which in ages past the Creator of the mighty firmament appointed for the planets. Finally, that I may bring my account of heaven to a close, let me tell you of the different degrees of luminosity to which the stars shine. Brilliants of the finest order enable you to identify easily the constellations of the Bull, the Lion, and the Virgin, Bootes, the Lyre, and the Charioteer, Orion, the Dogs, the Ship, and the Southern Fish. Twinkling with a lesser radiance, although still passing bright, are stars which mark the Twins, the Balance, the Scorpion, and the Archer, Helice, the Crown, the Swan, the Horse, and Perseus and Andromeda. The third magnitude has provided the dowry of the Pleiades sisters, spreading over their maiden faces in a blush of bronze. It includes, as of like degree, your brightness, Lesser Bear, and the first and the fires which the dolphin emits from its 4 torches and the triangle from its 3, and as shining with similar brightness, the eagle and the snakes with their slippery coils. Then, out of all the remaining stars, one distinguishes a 4th class and a 6th, and the degree which lies between these 2 magnitudes. The most numerous portion is contained in the lowest order. Sunk in the vast depths of heaven, they shine neither every night nor in every season. But when the bright moon diverts her course below the horizon, when the planets hide their light under the earth, when golden Orion has steeped his resplendent fires, and when, after its passage through the signs, the sun renews the seasons of the year, then do these stars glitter in the darkness, and their kindled flames pierce the blackness of night. Then may one see heaven's shining temples teeming with minute points of light, and the whole firmament sparkle with dense array of stars. Their abundance yields not to the flowers of the field or the grains of sand upon ocean's winding shore, but, as many the waves which ride in endless procession on the sea, as many the myriad leaves which fall and flutter down in the woods, more numerous even than these are the fires which circle the heavens. And as in great cities the inhabitants are divided into classes, whereas the Senate enjoys primacy and the equestrian order importance next to this, and one may see the knights followed by the commons by the idle proletariat, and finally the innominate throng, so too in the mighty heavens there exists a commonwealth wrought by nature, which has founded a city in the sky. There are luminaries of princely rank, and stars which come close to this highest eminence. There are all but the grades and privileges of superior orders. But outnumbering all these is the populace which revolves about heaven's dome. Had nature given it powers consistent with its legions, the very empyrean would be helpless before its fires, and the whole universe would become embroiled in the flames of a blazing sky. And that concludes Marcus Manilius's Astronomica, as translated by G.P. Gould. Hope you enjoyed it.